Dear friend who has a history of violence. I ran an election twice when I was governor, and to my credit, I launched one man, one vote. I fought PDP, Godfather. We defeated them without firing a gunshot. We emphasized the power of the ballot, peaceful ballot. You know how many lives were wasted? We read in your newspapers, police officers had beheaded where? Please answer, where? Rivers. Army officers killed. Where? Rivers. Who was declared the winner of that violence, election violence? Was it not Wike? So if it's the one talking about when the doctors begin to challenge the Atelo for a race, you know that something is wrong. So for my dear friend, I understand this problem. He had condemned Dixon for the loss of Bayelsa. He agreed that they lost Bayelsa, and he condemned Dixon for it. Dixon accused him of anti-party activity, that he was meddling into the internal affairs of Bayelsa. I think he wanted to use me to regain his dubious membership of PDP. And I do understand that politicians must always find a way to stay safe. And I hope PDP forgives him, because for us, well, he's the governor of Rivers, and I have a lot of respect for him as a person, and even more respect for his office. To accept the judgment of the Supreme Court because they are supreme, not because we agree that our candidate did not have or a forged document. I ask you as professional journalists to put on your investigative cap and go through the pleadings of the applicants. They never at any point accuse the deputy governor-elect of, which is now nullified. He was never accused of any criminal act. They did not accuse him of forgery, right? But the Supreme Court, in its wisdom, choose to use those words. Now, who are we to question the Supreme Court? As has been well stated in many quarters, they are supreme, not because they are infallible. They are infallible because they are supreme. I cannot add or subtract from that. And I also do recognize, and I said so earlier, that we recognize our limits, even in the midst of our pains. Now, to suggest that if we have screened well, if a man tells us that this name and this name means the same, it is just that this is my traditional title. Number two, don't forget that the deputy governor in question, whose election has now been nullified, was a city senator at the time he was nominated. The qualification for being a governor is the same qualification for being a senator. And it is the same document that were used for his election as a senator that he provided to INEC. No evidence that he added or subtracted. So if he was eligible to be a senator in the eyes of the law, and suddenly becoming eligible to be a deputy governor, I mean, it is for you and I to ask God to help us to overcome such a confusion. But, you know, as they say, success has many fathers. Failure is an orphan. Those who are saying so, I didn't see any advertorial or any public commendation when we won the election for the first time in Bayelsa without one gunshot, without anybody being hospitalized, without anybody being detained. For the first time, Bayelsas were unanimous, and they conducted what amounts to the most peaceful election in the history of Bayelsa State. So, but let me also admit, as a leader, I can't run away from the saying that a leader is a dustbin, everybody threw trash at it. It doesn't stop me from who I am. Who is your leader? We have to